All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome. September 9th, 9-9. I love how all these dates are just working out for this tournament. We got 9-9 for the final in the match of 32. We got 9-16. The 16th is the first of the round of 16. We got 11-11 for the absolute finals, semifinals, and finals. So all of the numerology is really working out in our favor, and I think that means that we are on the right track for this setup. Tayfun in the chat saying, did he change your webcam? Didn't change my webcam, just modified some of the lighting in the room. Got this cool stained glass guitar from my former roommate. She built that for me, and it's got some pretty cool lighting in it. It basically says, music is life, which is what it's really all about. I love music. You guys know I love music. Welcome, everybody. Striker's here. What's up, man? Long time no see. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Darren is here, says, good luck, Josh. I like it. What's up, everybody? I'm going to give some quick shout-outs here as we get started. We got our special competitors in the chat, chatting it up as well. Be sure to give them all a good luck today. To AMO Alex, to Jaush, to Jehan, and to Abel. They are all in the chat, chatting it up today. Say hello to them. We got Big Forms AZ here. What's up? Says, I'm not nervous. That's good. I'm glad you're not nervous today. It's very good to know. Steve is here. Steve Jessen, one of the people who's competed in the leaderboard already this month. Qualified, has a verified time on the leaderboard. Very impressive. As well as Tayfun. Ty is on the leaderboard as well already this month. TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. If you want to challenge yourself to create 3 models as quick as possible, the leaderboard is up and running. Let's see who else is here. Ivan the Reasonable, former champion. Last standing Canadian in this tournament. Here in the chat today. Welcome. Ex Machina Engineering is here today. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And Sahil is here. Welcome, Sahil. Thanks for joining us today. And we got Joanne here. Welcome, Joanne. Very nice to see you in here today. Darren Lees is here. Welcome. Superlicious Dude is joining us today. Great to see you in here once again. Welcome, everyone. I know that I'm pretty excited about today's matchups. I think it's going to be some really good matchups today. And we got a very special announcement today. A little modification to the prize structure. So I'm very excited to talk to everybody about that. But I think one of the most special things that we've got going for us today is our amazing co-commentator. None other than Kirby Downey is here. Let's welcome Kirby to the stage. Guys, put a 1 in the chat for Kirby. Kirby, how are you doing today?
Not too bad in yourself, Toby. It's a lovely Saturday here. Nice and roasty toasty a bit. Sweating it out, but I'm ready to see some epic CAD work.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, wherever you are in the world, what is the current temperature outside. It is pretty hot here. Definitely feeling it here in East Coast United States. And you are in UK, is that right, Kirby?
Yes. Same as Jaush, who's going to be performing tonight. So he also knows how hot it is and how sweaty we all are. We're literally sitting in the dark, making sure no heat comes in.
Yeah, that was a little interesting pregame strategy you guys were talking about trying to keep it a little bit on the darker side to prevent the heat from escape or from getting in, right?
Yes.
Maintain that cold nighttime air from last night and prevent the heat from getting in. So yeah. That's a pretty solid strategy. I like that. I love strategies.
Yeah, you learn them over the years, and I'm sure someone can make some sort of SolidWorks simulation, try and figure out the best way to cool your house without fans and air cons and that.
Yeah, I think Joe Galliero would be the one to do that. FloJo, I think, probably actually has done it already and probably could do it in his sleep.
I'm sure. There's a couple of people commenting in freedom degrees. I'll have to translate those.
So, Kirby, you are a maker, podcaster, and Minecrafter. You know, I made and 3D printed this nice creeper, 3D printed creeper.
Oh, very nice.
Did this earlier this summer out of TPU, so it's a little flexible too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
I haven't printed something for myself in a long time, to be honest. I printed these little crates the other day, but
I saw them.
I need to start making a lot more for myself. Most of the stuff that I make now are just Lego, which is, it's fun. I do a bit of cross stitch now as well. I'm always keeping myself busy doing something interesting.
Yeah. What is cross stitch?
Cross stitch is it's kind of like sewing, but you kind of, if you think about Minecraft and how you place blocks, it's the same kind of concept where you use blocks of colors to create an overall picture. So I'm messing around with that kind of stuff, and it's a fun way to sit and watch TV and sew, really.
Okay, that's cool. It's like crochet.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
But you'll be surprised how many nerdy patterns there are out there of Pokemon and Nightmare Before Christmas and video gaming and all that kind of stuff.
And what do you end up with as a final product? Is it like a coaster or sweater or?
Well, at the moment, I'm doing one that's about 1.5 meters by 2 meters long.
Whoa. And then that'll get like hung on your wall or something?
I have no clue what I'm going to do with it, but
Okay.
I'm making it.
And it sounds like you got
Just before I was just counting all my threads and all that.
Sounds like you got a roommate there letting you know, somebody at the door or something.
Yeah, my other half just left, so the dogs are freaking out now.
Okay, nice. So. Yeah. Okay, and let me just here we go. So Kirby, I noticed that this picture that we have up for you here as a welcome picture is pretty interesting. Is that a room in your house, or how did you get that picture?
I would love to have a ball pit. That's a place called Borley Borlison here in London.
Okay.
It's a bar that's a giant ball pit as well.
Wow.
So you can go drink cocktails, have some chicken wings, and go hang out with a bunch of adults in a ball pit.
Wow. Okay. I would think if everybody was eating chicken wings, those balls would be a little bit less clean.
Oh, well, you're not allowed any drinks and food in the ball pit. They're kind of very strict about that, but it's a fun place to go. And it really embodies kind of the person who I am. I work professionally in 3D printing and all that, but I never try to present myself in a suit or anything, that I try and pretend someone I'm not. I would walk up to any kind of person, however I'm dressed. Like today, I'm wearing my pink download shirt. I'll be happy to go to a trade show dressed like this and talk to people and prove to them that, my knowledge is the most important part of myself than my image.
Yeah, I think a lot of
this
people
picture perfectly represents that kind of goofiness that I have.
I think a lot of people in the chat could definitely get on board with that. I mean, that's what it is to be a tradesman. It's really like function, right? Function is more important than fashion. I think that's yeah.
I mean, I was on live stage at 3D Experience World this year wearing a very bright Charizard t-shirt.
Nice.
With Manish on stage.
Oh, we'll have to get you a Too Tall Toby t-shirt to wear next time.
Oh, yes.
So Striker is in the chat, says beard is growing back nice after 3DXW World, right? There was a prop bet and you shaved your beard.
Yeah, we raised some money for a Magic Wheelchair. We planned together about $5,000 and with SolidWorks help, we raised over $35,000. So myself and Brad Media shaved our beards.
Nice.
In a bar in Nashville.
Nice. Very nice. That's a good prop bet for a good cause. And Ivan says, morning, Kirby. Almost frost here, 5 degrees Celsius. So there you go.
Oh, wow. That's quite
jealous.
That's quite freezing.
Yes, very jealous. Yeah.
And my dogs wish they were in that kind of temperature.
Striker's giving it to you in Fahrenheit. Says 78 degrees Fahrenheit here in Alabama, but it's only 9 a.m., so it's only going to get warmer. All right, well, with that being the case, let's keep this presentation moving forward. Guys, if you're not familiar with Kirby's work, check him out, The Core Podcast, at The Core Podcast on all social media. Kirby and Johnny do a great job of bringing you all of the news from the world of 3D CAD, 3D printing, and it's just kind of like a fun time hanging out with you guys, too, in those live streams.
Yes, it's always good fun.
Yeah, always good fun. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get into it here today. Today is September 9th. If you're not familiar, you can visit tootalltoby.com/calendar. We do have a calendar up there with the all of the upcoming dates, including the links. So you can just grab, go into that calendar, add those dates to your calendar so that you'll get notifications so you know all of the upcoming dates. It's almost every Saturday, but there are a couple of Saturdays here and there that we take off. And everything is leading to November 11th, where we're going to do the final event. We are locking down an in-person conference room. So it's going to take place in Pennsylvania. If you want to add that to your calendar, if you're interested in traveling to Pennsylvania on Saturday, November 11th, you can hang out with us for the live studio audience. The competitors are still going to be, at their regular workstations at their, current locale. But we're going to have a live studio audience for that final event. And if you want to come join us for that, November 11th, get it on your calendar. It's going to be in Pennsylvania, and I will get you guys more details very soon. Tayfun says, I wish I could, Toby. I wish I could travel from Australia to Pennsylvania for one Saturday morning to be part of the studio audience. And he said maybe next time. So there we go. I appreciate that.
Toby, I really hope that you're going to get like foam finger cutouts made for this event.
That's what we need.
Nothing
totally
says a
what we
tournament,
need. Yeah.
you know, a fight between different CAD systems and people than rubber foam fingers.
It's totally what we need. Yep. So here you can see the YouTube playlist is also up and active. You can also just subscribe to that, or just make sure that you add that to your favorites, and you'll be able to get to all of the upcoming events. Reminder here that the new TooTallToby.com website is live. Kirby, I know you have an account here on the new TooTallToby.com website.
Yes, I do.
Lots of fun stuff going in there. You can the address bar across the top, or the header bar across the top, is already expanded, has several additional options, including the new leaderboard. So the new leaderboard option is available. The new leaderboard tools are available. TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. Speed model these 3 parts as fast as you can. Record yourself with a clock and get on the leaderboard to win prizes. The prize this month is a Too Tall Toby t-shirt, but on other months, the prizes sometimes are a little bit bigger. The 1 month, the prize was a 3D Connection Space Pilot Pro. So
nice.
Yeah, different prizes each month. Join us for that challenge. Kirby, I expect to see you on there, you and Johnny together.
I hope one day, yeah.
Crushing that
probably
leaderboard.
somewhere at the bottom, but somewhere on that list.
Yeah, absolutely crushing that leaderboard.
I see a Big B's asking what's the URL for this.
What's the URL? TooTallToby.com. TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. Great question. TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. Let's talk a little bit about the tournament here, Kirby. The tournament is very exciting. We're moving into our round of 16 next week, and something that I thought was really interesting, kind of caught me by surprise, is how much representation there is from the different CAD packages. If we look at the black bracket here, we have Inventor versus Onshape on September 16th next week. We have SolidWorks versus Inventor on September 30th. So quite the variety. Inventor really locking it down here in the black bracket. The black bracket is sponsored by Joko Engineering. Joko Engineering, making all of your 3D CAD dreams come true. JokoEngineering.com. Thank you for the sponsorship of the black bracket. As we move over to the blue bracket here, we see that we have a match between Ansys Space Claim and CATIA, and then a match between SolidWorks and SolidWorks. So once again, quite the representation from different countries, 4 different countries there in the blue bracket in this round of 16. And
that's exciting.
Yeah, and again, 3 different CAD systems. So really cool that we're seeing all this different representation from all these different CAD systems from all these different countries.
I'm quite interested to see Space Claim.
Yeah, Juiced crushes. I mean, if you want to see some action from Juiced, go back to TooTallToby.com/leaderboard. Look at the previous months. His videos are up there. He's just an absolute crusher. He's #1 almost every month on that leaderboard challenge using Space Claim. So you can see the techniques that he's using, the tools that he's using. And of course, it's very cool to see that in the tournament. Now, as we move to the round of 16, I got to say, the models are going to get more complicated. So it's not just going to be like who can make a boss extrude and a cut extrude the fastest. You're going to have some challenges with the idea of like feature order creation. You're going to have features that are dependent on other features, and unless you can do trig in your head on the fly, or even calc sometimes in your head on the fly, you're going to have to model the features in a certain order, or else you're going to get stuck. So I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to start to see this this tournament kind of evolve a little bit from who can just get the features out there the quickest to who can actually analyze the drawing and create the drawings the fastest. So insert evil laugh there, Toby. Yes, indeed. Yes, this is going to get more and more complicated. We see down here in the green bracket, we have quite the representation from SolidWorks. SolidWorks, and now today, Jaush versus Abel. Inventor versus SolidWorks. Is Inventor going to be able to prevent this green bracket from being a clean sweep for SolidWorks? Or is Abel going to come through and make this a totally uniform all SolidWorks bracket, guaranteeing that the champion of the green bracket will be a SolidWorks user? We're going to find out. Jaush is quite the competitor, so it's going to definitely be an interesting matchup. But if Abel can pull this one off, it's going to be all SolidWorks in the green bracket.
I mean, even though I'm a SolidWorks fan, I'm kind of, I'm rooting for Jaush. He's the underdog in this bracket, it seems.
Oh, it does. Yes, indeed. It does seem that way. We'll see what happens.
And he's from UK, so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And in the red bracket, we've got Onshape, SolidWorks, Onshape, and today is going to be a matchup between SolidWorks and SolidWorks. So we're going to see the red bracket is really the Onshape versus SolidWorks bracket. The red bracket is sponsored by Alibre. Alibre has done a lot to help sponsor this tournament. Alibre makes powerful yet affordable and easy to learn 3D CAD. It's a perpetual license model as opposed to a cloud-based model. So you actually buy the software, download it, install it, and you have it on your computer forever, as opposed to a cloud-based model. So Alibre, we're going to talk about Alibre a lot today. We got a big announcement coming from Alibre. They're sponsoring the red bracket, and in the red bracket, we've got Imants up at the top there. That's the younger brother of the current world champion, Alness. So Alness is the current world champion, and Imants up at the top there is his younger brother. Maybe getting some
bit of family rivalry there.
Yeah, a little family rivalry. Maybe we'll have a brother versus brother exhibition match sometime. And we got JMD crushing. They're going to be going up against one another. And then we got Jack Sato against whoever wins today. So very, very cool stuff. And that's our tournament. Real quick review there of the tournament. A lot went into getting that tournament all together. I mean, as far as stats go, we had 32 runners, 4 plus 4 on the waiting list, 15 countries represented. We had 8 different CAD systems. And now, as we are coming into the end of our round of 32, well, I'm sorry to report that we've lost 5 of those countries. So we're down to, or 6 of those countries. So we're down to just 9 countries being represented. And we've
Still a lot.
We've also lost 3 of those CAD systems. Libre got knocked out. All the Fusion 360 users got knocked out.
Yes.
And FreeCAD got knocked out. That wasn't me that said that. That was Kirby that said that, just for all you F360 guys out there. But yeah, it was, we started out with a lot more representation from the different CAD systems and from the different countries. But, you know, that's the way a tournament goes. It gets whittled down.
As a maker, you know, Fusion 360 is the #1 software used by makers, and myself as a maker and a SolidWorks fan, I kind of have a bit of a, you know, little rivalry with people in Fusion 360. But
yeah,
it's still they absolutely blew the makers market away.
Yeah,
with what they've done, and now, you know, other companies are trying to scramble to do something similar.
Big B Form AZ is asking for an F in the chat for Fusion. F in the chat for Fusion. Let's go. And of course, this isn't just a singleton effort here. I have a whole team of people behind me, including Mrs. Tall Toby and Bodie McBoatpants for all your web dev needs. So very thankful to my team who has really helped bring this whole tournament together, get all these people together. And I am very excited to see how this goes and kind of what the road to November 11th, where it takes us. Now, the question is there a prize? Is there a prize for this tournament? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. Everybody is trying to make their way to November 11th, to the semifinals and the finals, which take place on the same day. And everybody who makes it to that semifinals and finals matchup is going to get paid out $125 USD each for 3rd and 4th place, $250 USD for our 2nd place winner, and $500 up top for 1st place, taking the lion's share, just the way it's supposed to be. There is a $500 up top prize. So very, very exciting. I know everybody who's running this tournament is excited to get there to get those prizes. But this just in, are there any additional prizes? And I gotta tell you something, Kirby. Alibre, as part of their sponsorship of the red bracket, has come through with a very generous offer for additional prizes. Now, again, those of you who are out there who maybe never heard of Alibre, Alibre makes powerful yet easy to use 3D CAD software that's affordable. You can visit them at alibre.com to learn more about the capabilities of Alibre. But it really is 3D CAD software with everything you need. You can see some of the capabilities here: 3D modeling, sheet metal, 2D drawings, automation, rendering, scripting, API, interoperability. Lots of capabilities here. Lots of people out there in the CAD world are using Alibre or are familiar with Alibre. You could use it for business, use it for hobbies, use it even for CAD CAM type operations. So lots of capabilities here embedded in Alibre. Now, there is a product matrix, and there's 3 different flavors of Alibre: Atom 3D, Alibre Pro, and Alibre Expert. If you go to alibre.com, you can take a look here at this product matrix and kind of see what is available. We also have Ty in the chat who competes on the leaderboard. So if you ever want to see video footage of Alibre in action, you can take a look at tootalltoby.com/leaderboard. But what it comes down to here is that for these 3 different packages, you can purchase a lifetime license, a perpetual license, for $150 for the Atom 3D, $700 for the Design Pro, and $1,350 for the Design Expert. Well, Alibre has said, you know what? I want everybody in this tournament to have the opportunity to get access to their own seat of 3D CAD. And so as part of their sponsorship, Alibre has put up prizes for all runners. Now, we did have one runner, no call, no show. So that means that instead of 32, we have 31st place to 3rd place are going to get a seat of Alibre Atom 3D, a perpetual license, a forever license of Alibre Atom 3D. How awesome is that?
Exciting.
Second place.
It's too late to enter.
Second place is going to... No, but we're going to have more tournaments in the future. Don't worry. Second place is going to get Alibre Design Pro. So a $700 seat of Alibre Design Pro. And
incredible.
Our world champion is going to get a perpetual license, a forever license of Alibre Design Expert valued at $1,350. So this is pretty awesome. Guys, I see the chat lighting up here. If you guys appreciate this, put a 1 in the chat for Alibre. Be sure to visit them, visit their YouTube channel. Sign up for subscribe to their YouTube channel so you get notifications when they come out with new content. But this is pretty cool. If you are watching right now and you are one of the runners, just be on the lookout from Mrs. Tall Toby. You're going to get information. You're going to get a form. We're going to have you fill out a form so that we can get your contact info over to Alibre so they can send you that excellent prize. And obviously, like this will be kind of fed out to the competitors as they get eliminated. So now that we're finishing up this round of 32, we have 60 or 15 people who are eligible for this initial prize offering. Yes, your roommate is excited. What's your roommate's name there?
Loki and Gidget.
Lucky and Gidget are like, let's go, Alibre. That's exciting.
Yeah, let's do it.
They want to know how to enter next time. So yeah, so the way that the way that people were able to enter this tournament is there was a qualifier on the leaderboard, and people did have to go through a qualification process. And so we're gonna have that qualification process again. We're gonna have more tournaments next year. This is pretty exciting stuff. And we're going to have more prizes next year as well. So be sure to stay in touch. Be sure to watch the leaderboard, compete in the leaderboard so that you can be one of those top 32 people when the next tournament happens. Thank you so much to Alibre. Awesome to have Alibre as our sponsor here of the Red Bracket. And with that, let's get into it and talk about what we're doing today. I know a lot of you guys are excited about seeing the matchups today. I know I'm excited about seeing the matchups today. So our first matchup from the green bracket. We're still looking for a sponsor for the green bracket. We're going to see Jaush, who is drafty and gamer. I don't know if that's supposed to say drafter, versus Abel, Alderete, the millennial engineer, CSWP, using SolidWorks. So Jaush from the United Kingdom using Inventor versus Abel from the United States using SolidWorks. And in our second match, thank you to our sponsor of the Red Bracket, Alibre. Visit them at www.alibre.com. In our second match, we've got Mr.Alex, HDO with only CSWA. I don't know what HDO means. Do you know what that means, Kirby?
No.
Okay.
To be honest.
Maybe we'll find out. And versus Jehan, Refaa from Egypt, CSWA undergraduate mechatronic. This is going to be a really cool matchup. And Mr. Alex is from Latvia using SolidWorks. Shane Howe in the chat.
4 different countries.
4 different countries today, yeah. Shane Howe in the chat saying, who's the number 1 seed right now? The number 1 seed right now is Juiced using ANSYS Space Claim. Number 1 seed from the leaderboard challenge last month. You can see the entire leaderboard from last month if you want to figure out what the different seeding is of this tournament. But number 1 seed Juiced from last month. Yes. All right. Let's go.
Oh, head HDO is head of design office.
Okay, nice.
So with the CSWA, it just shows that you don't have to go for the E. Yeah. If you can prove what you can do, you can do anything.
Exactly. Tayfon says, for the people out there who are curious about Alibre, check out the Ex Machina Engineering channel for awesome tutorials. Okay, let's go. Ex Machina Engineering saying, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but Anti-Space Game is not parametric. You can watch his videos. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is because I feel like I remember him troubleshooting, like a dimension was wrong and he was able to double click on it and change it, and then the geometry updated. So I'm pretty sure that it is parametric, but you can go back through and watch the videos of Juice either running the leaderboard or he was in the very first matchup in the tournaments too. Great question there from Ex Machina. All right. Niles saying it's hybrid. Cool, cool. What's up, Niles? Welcome, welcome. Guys, if you're enjoying this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support this channel. It looks like we got about 40 people watching right now. We got 15 likes. Let's see if we can get that ratio to match up at 1-to-1. Hit that like button.
I'll give one now.
It's a nice, easy way to make sure that we are getting on the attention of the YouTube leaderboard. A nice way for us to help spread the word. And of course, take a screen capture. If you see people running today, if you're like, wow, this is pretty cool, Inventor versus SolidWorks, speed modeling, take a screen capture, share it on your network. If you don't have social media, just take a screen capture, email it to all your friends and family. If you don't have email, just print it out on your computer and then just hand it to your friends next time you see them in person and say, this is pretty cool. CAD versus CAD showdown. Go ahead, Kirby.
Share it with your friends, your colleagues.
Yeah, share it with your friends,
share
your
it with
colleagues.
Everyone.
Yep. It's always good to let people know that CAD versus CAD tournaments exist. And of course, sign up for a free account at tootalltoby.com. There's going to be lots more, we're already starting to see kind of the functionality of having a user account roll into things like the leaderboard. It's a little thing, but it's like when you do the leaderboard challenge now, that information is hooked to your account. And that means that we're going to have a longer term record of how you do on that leaderboard account. So, just sign up for a free account at tootalltoby.com. It'll definitely help to grow the community, grow the channel, and help us to make this all happen. Striker said, do you have an affiliate link for Alibre? Nope, I don't have an affiliate link. You can just tell them that I sent you, or not. I mean, just go and support them. They're really trying to get the word out to the CAD community, so just support them too. All right.
I mean, you could ask them at some point.
Yeah, I could ask them. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Here we go. How's this work? The first matchup is going to be between Jaush and Abel. I'm going to show them a 2D print and have them turn it into a 3D model. And I'm going to have them calculate the mass and enter that mass in the YouTube chat. Now, the rules for the tournament are that this is a best of 3 matchups. So after someone wins and gets their first win, they're going to get 1 point. But you do have to win 2 points. It's really a first person to 2 points. If there's a push or whatever, we'll go on to a 4th match. But first person to win 2 points is going to move on to the round of 16. The runners are allowed to answer incorrectly 1 time. So, for example, Kirby, if you answered and it was wrong, I'd say, Kirby, I'm sorry, that is not correct. Please try again. If you answer wrong a second time, then that's it. You're cut off. You can't answer again. So you can answer wrong 1 time, but that is it. And for all those of you out there who are watching, if you want to play along with, you totally can. When I show that 2D print, grab a screen capture, hit print screen, or use Windows snipping tool, or MW snap, or whatever you want to use. Kirby, what do you use to do screen captures?
I just use the snipping tool.
Snipping tool, that's good.
Sometimes I even just take a photo with my phone of my screen.
There you go. That's good too.
That works just as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so do whatever you want to do. I have a funny story about that, Kirby, just real quick. Sometimes, on like Reddit or on tech support forums, you'll see people that take photos of the screen and then they upload that photo to the forum. And you say to yourself, like, how do you don't know how to screen capture? But the reason that they do that is because a lot of times the computers that they're working on are air-gapped in some way. Like they don't have permission to screen capture and send that up to the forum, and that's why they do it from their phone. So yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, for me, the phone it allows a second screen on my desk. Yeah, that I can work from.
For sure. So Ex Machina says, I just hit print screen, LOL. Yep, that's good. Print screen is a good one. So take a screen capture if you want, but please do not help the runners. If you're going through and you're modeling it and you get the mass correct, don't post the mass in the chat. Instead, just say, hey, I got it. Like, I got the answer. I figured it out. And also, if you see the runners getting stuck, like if they miss a fillet, or if they should have done that as a shell, or if they should have added a rib there, or done it as a pattern, don't help them. Don't put anything in the chat that's going to help the chat, that's going to help the runners. These guys are really the stars today, so let's give them a chance to shine, and let's make sure that, that they have every opportunity to have a fair competition, 1 versus 1, one person to the match.
Yeah, just show us what you got.
Show us what you got. Yeah, just put it in the chat. Just say, hey, I got it. And then in the end, if you said you got it and it turned out your answer was wrong, well, fess up to that too. Say, oops, I was wrong. That's the true gentleman's move. All right, so here we go. Into the green bracket we go. Today is September 9th. The winner of this match is going to go up against Pranav. Pranav is super fast from India, a true gentleman as well. Pranav is going to be competing against either Jaush from the United Kingdom or Abel. Let's learn a little bit about our runners. Jaush is drafty and gamer. Jaush started as an apprentice. Yep, that's good. Always, I love the apprenticeship program. Been a drafts person for 5 years and plays volleyball on the regs. Wow, that's a good way to work up a sweat in this kind of weather. And Abel Alderete is a dad to a 2-year-old princess. Very nice, very nice. Born and raised in Cuba, but been in the U.S. since 2010. That's kind of cool. Kirby, have you ever been outside of the U.S.?
I've been to the US a few times. Nowhere in South America, though, or anything below the US.
Okay, good. I wanted to ask you that question. I was hoping that would trip you up when I asked you that question.
No. I've been plenty of places.
I'm outside of the US right now. All right. That's it for our fun facts for these runners. I'll tell you guys what. Let's do a quick practice round just to make sure that all systems are go. So this is just going to give our runners a chance to kind of work off any final nerves, make sure that they understand kind of how the rules work for this thing. Basic rules are that you're going to want to make sure that you start a new document. So once I show the 2D print, you're going to start a new document. So close out of any documents that you currently have open, and we're going to start a new document here. Let me flip over to my full screen view here so that I can really properly challenge these guys and they can see this screen capture. Like I said, if you want to follow along with from home, please feel free to do so. But this CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's do this.
This is really
I'm quite excited to see
this is just practice,
Inventor, though, the workflow of Inventor.
This is just a practice run here, guys. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram. I'm going to give these guys a chance to run this thing. I'm going to make sure that all of our systems are correct. Looks like I have the incorrect runners here. Let's switch that over. There we go. Jaush on the left using Inventor. Abel Alderete on the right using SolidWorks. We can see here that they are going through. They're trying to create this model, this triangular shaped model. Tayfon in the chat is cheating. We're not going to put the answer in the chat, Tayfon. Good thing we're doing this as practice. Abel says, lost the drawing. All right, let's show the drawing. Yeah, this is a good chance, right? We're going to give these guys a chance to imagine what kinds of hiccups they might run into. So we're going to show that drawing again for Abel. Give him a chance, but of course that would be lost time in the actual competition. Jaush came into the chat with an answer 3159. Let's give Abel. We'll give Abel a chance here to kind of get through. Like I said, work out some of the butterflies. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that's why I find using your phone as well as your little quick screen grab.
Little quick screen grab. Yep,
is a good way to do it. I mean, what I found very interesting here is Jaush has all of his presets of carbon steel, ABS, and that. Basically, the ones you usually use, he's got them already as profiles, so he doesn't have to actually change the material at a later point.
Yep, very good to do in a speed modeling tournament, but also good to do in the real world, right? How many times do you work for a company where they really only use a handful of materials?
Yes.
And having those materials ready to go is very useful. It can save you some time, especially over the course of a year. So we can see here that Abel has come up with an answer. Let's see if we can get him to. There we go. We got it in the chat there. 3159 is the correct answer for that model, and that is our practice session for this challenge. So let's flip back over to our overlay here. Let's get these guys ready for the real thing. The thing is, the way that we determine the real thing is not by you or me, Kirby, deciding on what their challenge is going to be, but instead is by relying upon the wheel of fate. So let me get the wheel of fate up and running here.
Oh,
this is it's not up to you and me. It's the wheel, and the wheel can be quite cruel sometimes, for sure. So the wheel is.
I like this.
Yeah, the wheel, like I said, it can be a real cruel mistress here sometimes. So you can see here on your screen some of these different numbers. I don't know, Kirby, if you're a gambling man, if you want to maybe take a guess as to what number you think it's going to be this time.
I'm going to go 23T-37.
Okay, -37. We're going to say 37. If anybody in the chat wants to take a guess here, take a gamble as to what this is going to be, please feel free to type it in the chat. It's only the last number that's different, so you can just type in that last number different if you want. And here we go. We see the answers coming in. Striker says 33. Ex Machina says 32. Tayfon says 38. Let's give this thing a rip here. The Wheel of Fate is sponsored by Alibre. Thank you so much to Alibre for sponsoring the red bracket and, of course, the green bracket. We're still looking for a sponsor, so Alibre gets the green bracket as well today, de facto. Here we go.
Alibre is really stepping up, you know.
Yeah, they're
helping out a lot.
Sponsoring the wheel, sharing some software with the community. Looks like it's going to be 38. Wow.
Oh, so close.
Okay, 38. Wow, this is the very last drawing in the round of 32. So okay. Good luck to everybody. And Kirby, now you've seen these guys do a little bit of practice. Do you have any advice regarding, you know, what these guys could do to really get a leg up here?
I think, you know, if you make sure you get your screenshot, you know, take a screenshot, take a photo, have a backup, you know, make notes down as well if you can. But I know that it can be a bit, you know, you got to be quick. You got to be fast off out of the gate. But I feel like you can catch up a little bit of time to make sure that you've got all the dimensions prepared. I mean, for me, it's just always the hardest step is to figure out where I'm going to start. Whereas
yes, indeed,
if you,
if
once you figure that out, then it's easy to add on to that as your problem.
Yeah, starting plane, starting profile, always difficult. Oh, and a quick shout out here to Jehan Thunberg in the chat. 38 said 38. Tayfon said 38 as well. They both got it right. So congratulations to those guys. They get an extra point for today. Very nicely done. All right, guys, here we go. Let's flip over to full screen. Oh, let me just make sure I got the thing set up. I got it. I did it right. Okay. Let's flip over to full screen here. And this, the very first CAD battle of September 9th, begins. Inventor versus SolidWorks begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds? Tolerance is plus or minus 0.002 pounds. What is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds? Our runners are grabbing a screen capture of this print so that they have all the dimensions they need. They're probably putting it on a second monitor, a second screen, and they are both off to the races here. So let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle and see how they do. We got Jaush on the left running Autodesk Inventor. We got Abel on the right running SolidWorks. How are you going to come up with this part? How are you going to start? It's like you said, Kirby, the hardest thing is trying to determine what's the starting plane, what's the starting profile.
You know, it seems they start off with the same kind of, start off with the main rectangular body and then work from there. I think from there it could be, that's where they change their strategies.
Yeah, the almost like the footprint, that kind of initial, how the thing is going to mount onto the table.
Yeah, who's going to make the boss at the top or who's going to make the slot first?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it looks like Abel is taking a strategy where he's going to actually include that slot in that initial sketch of the footprint. I like that strategy, kind of trying to capture as much as he can. And we see on the right and on the left, we see Jaush taking more of a feature by feature approach. I like that as well. Kind of thinking to himself like, okay, does this model have symmetry? Could I maybe just model certain features and then use a mirror type of command to get those across? So also very smart.
I mean, if some people I always find they believe, if you do quick sketches, it's a quick way. But sometimes spending a lot of time developing your sketch and then executing it in one function can sometimes be quicker in the long run.
Yeah, there's definitely a strategy that says, keep your sketches simple. Kind of, it's better to have more features and to have, have your sketches easier to manage, easier to manipulate. I think we see maybe Jaush running into this where he's got so many dimensions, so many relationships. That sketch could really end up being a nightmare to handle. But, Jaush is a real pro. So for him, he might say, what are you talking about? This is nothing. Look, there we go. There's that boss going up the left side of that model.
And you noticed that it wasn't fully defined?
I don't know how the color scheme works in Inventor, but if you're saying it wasn't fully defined, I believe you, and that might come back to bite him later. If your sketches aren't fully defined, if you're missing any key dimensions, you might not get the correct mass in this tournament challenge.
Yeah, because I'm one of those that doesn't fully define all the time, but think the models that I'm making aren't as critical enough to warrant a fully defined. And I mean, I know you've written a whole song about this.
I do believe it's important to fully define every time, that's for sure. I see in the chat there's a discussion. Niles is asking if there's anybody who's got trials of all the CAD programs. That's pretty much what the leaderboard is, Niles. If you take a look at totaltoby.com/leaderboard, you're gonna see that that's what's happening there. We've got all the different CAD systems trying to compete, trying to see who can create these 3 models the fastest. We got everything from Eric running it in Onshape on a mobile device on an Android phone, all the way to Jehan running it in Build 123D, which is actually a coding interface. Like, he's coding to create the 3D geometry. So it looks more like you're looking at Python than you're looking at, SolidWorks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, quite a bit of variety in there. Definitely worth checking out if you're interested in seeing trials of all the different CAD softwares. That's a great place to take a look. totaltoby.com/leaderboard.
That's quite interesting. Because I saw their mobile, I was wondering, is that on a tablet or what? But doing it on a phone, and
you did it from
also coding your 3D models that's a completely different way of 3D modeling. And
yeah, Eric did 3 fully defined models in Onshape on a Galaxy S22 Android phone in under 10 minutes.
Madness. That's actually really blown me away.
Yeah. The video's on the leaderboard. You can check it out on the leaderboard. Oh, Jaush coming in with an answer here in the chat. Jaush has come up with an answer. His answer is 2.334 pounds. And that is correct.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, yeah. Great job to Jaush coming in with the correct answer. Very nicely done. Wowzers. Guys, put a 1 in the chat, or a GG in the chat for Jaush. Very nicely done. Yeah, let's go.
I keep forgetting about my soundboard, and this is the perfect time for it.
Wow, that was nice. That was fast too. I looked away. I was talking about the leaderboard for a second, and I looked back, and his answer was there in the chat. Super fast, man.
Yeah, I do think Abel did get a bit stuck on that slot. I think that was his downfall.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky feature, right? When you have a straight line slot, and then it's it's offset in both directions, and plus, doing the thing with English units, probably a little bit challenging for some of our runners.
I mean, because I'm originally from South Africa, and there it's all, kilometers and meters and that in terms of the roads. When coming to the UK, switched to miles. I thought it would be difficult, but within the context of driving in the UK, miles works. So I think, the inches and all that stuff shouldn't affect too much if it's just within this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, but it also matters if you have your setup correct, if you're ready to handle that kind of that kind of geometry. Some people don't have the template set up right, sometimes they just never use that type of geometry. So, and even getting the mass correct to the correct decimal place at the end, very nicely done to both of our runners. Definitely can be challenging. More difficult to see third angle projection. Oh, interesting commentary there from Alex. That's a good point too. Let's see here. Darren says, I have done it slightly differently. Yes, indeed. Yeah. When you are under the gun, you have a competitor. Sometimes you just kind of go with whatever your initial gut instinct says. But nice job to Abel. Nice job to Jaush. This match is far from over. Jaush has won 1 point, but you got to win 2 points to move on to the round of 16. What do you guys think? What does the wheel have in store for these guys this time? Let me know in the chat what number you think we're going to get this time. And Kirby, what do you think it's going to be this time?
I'm going to stick with 37.
37.
I've got a good feeling about
okay, I like it. 37. Striker thinks it's going to be 33. Let's see what we got in the chat. What do we think it's going to be? Guys, if you like this kind of gambling on the Wheel of Fate for who's going to get what CAD drawing, be sure to hit that like button as well. All right, we got a lot of answers coming in here. Let's rip this thing and see what we end up with. Let me know, as always, if the music's too loud, too quiet. Always appreciate that feedback. Kirby, oh, man.
Nailed it.
Robbed.
It. Oh, no.
Robbed. Wow. I thought for sure that was it. I thought you had it.
Big oof.
And it just, edged over at the last second. Man. Okay. Wow. 27. So, AMO Alex nailed it. Will nailed it. 27. Very nicely done. The Wheel of Fate has determined what your challenge is going to be. Let's learn a little bit more about our competitors before we get into this challenge.
Oh, you didn't give us all the info to start off. I like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always good to learn a little bit more about these guys. These guys go pretty deep.
So what else they get up to?
Jaush has an overwhelming list of games to play. It's probably something that you could relate to.
I can relate. I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
I've got a list of Lego builds to do.
Oh, and a huge list of Lego builds, yeah. And he says, got lots to learn. Yep, indeed. And Abel is a bioengineer by degree, but a mechanical engineer by training. Very nice.
Oh.
Very, very nice. So what do you think? Any now that you've seen them compete one time, what kind of advice would you give them going into this next round?
Well, I mean, you know, with a complicated slot like that, I'm not too sure if the Ivan exploit is allowed in this tournament.
Oh, it is. It is.
I did see a couple of options, a couple of opportunities there for an Ivan exploit that maybe could have actually assisted there.
That's what you're on the lookout for, huh? Those Ivan exploits.
So that could have sped up that slot, but I think it was more the creation of the details in the slot that was the trouble, not so much the actual positioning of the slot.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's a great
I
observation.
see Big B's asking what the Ivan exploit is. Basically, it's if you have a body and there's a dimension circle, for example, that's in a position, you don't have to dimension its actual position. You can put it anywhere and you'll still have the same mass of the part. So if it's on a wedge, for example, and you move that hole, then it'll have a different mass. But if it's a straight up rectangle and a hole in the side, no matter where you put it on that body, it'll be the same weight.
Yes. That's an excellent explanation. In fact, we actually have an NFT representing the Ivan exploit available for sale in the Too Tall Toby, in the lab, right? In the Too Tall Toby website. Let me see if I can find what that looks like for you guys, so that
I think I've got it.
you got it already. Yeah, that's a good one to buy for sure. Let me just see here if I can bring this up on the screen so you guys can see this. Pretty good little exploit here. Let's see here. Where do I got this?
Yeah, I think I did have it. I did grab it. Proud owner of that NFT, Ivan, the inventor of the Ivan exploits.
Yes, indeed. Okay, here's what that looks like. If you guys want to see what that NFT looks like, it's available in the Too Tall Toby general store at tootalltoby.com. And as you can see here, the reason that this Ivan exploit got its name is because in one of the very first tournaments we held, Ivan was the first person to actually deploy this live on the live stream. And what you can see here is we've got this series of counter bores that are supposed to be defined and centered along the part. And Ivan just said, hey, those two faces are parallel. So I'll just drop those points anywhere. I'll just drop those holes anywhere. It's going to be the same mass, right? I'm removing the same amount of material. We're only asking for mass here. And boom, the Ivan exploit was born. So
genius.
Yeah, absolute genius. Yep, absolute genius. This is an NFT that's available at the tootalltoby.com website. And you know, it creates kind of an arms race between us, right? I know that the runners know that this is a possibility. So now me as the tournament director, I have to go through and create my models in a way that this can't be leveraged. You know, so it is absolute genius.
Ivan made your job harder.
I mean, it's the nature of the game, man. I don't mind challenges. And, you know, as we get deeper into the tournament, there's going to be less and less opportunity for the Ivan exploit. The models are going to have more curved faces. More draft is going to be on these models in the future. And so, you know, but yeah, it's cool. It's made it so that the whole community gets elevated by, you know, by both of us having to be aware of this. So I think it's really cool. Check out that. If you guys want to buy that NFT, it's on tootalltoby.com. In the general store. Sign up for a free account. You'll get free TTT cash that you can use to buy that NFT. I forget how many of them there are. I think it's pretty limited though. All right. I think we're ready for this next match, guys. We are ready for this next match. So let's get into it here. Our next matchup here, our next CAD battle, CAD versus CAD, Inventor versus SolidWorks is going to begin. Here we go. Everybody shake off our competitors. I'm going to give you some advice. Dry your hands, shake it off a little bit. Eric Beatty's in the chat.
Eric.
The rising tide lifts all ships. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Here we go. This next CAD battle begins. between Inventor and SolidWorks in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? The tolerance for this part is plus or minus 1 gram. Please grab a screen capture of this 2D print and get ready to turn it into a 3D model. The unit system is MMGS. The material is ABS, the density listed down there in the title block. Good luck to our runners. This is not an easy model to create, this sliding clip.
No.
Some interesting geometry happening with this thing. Let's see what they come up with. Both of our runners look like they're modeling this thing. Let's flip over and see how they do it.
And this is an example of one that you can't use the Ivan exploit because of that cutout at the bottom.
It's curved on the bottom. Exactly.
You can use it to some extent, maybe. But
maybe. At some point, you're going to spend more time trying to find places to use it, right?
Yeah, and for those, does it matter that those fillets there are green?
The fillet, whenever I make a feature a different color, it's really just as a reminder that feature exists. Usually what happens is when I audit these parts, that's a feature that I forgot to create. And so I'm like, oh, I better make sure I highlight that so they don't forget to create it. So it's just kind of a nod to our runners. You're creating a lot of geometry here. I don't want you to lose just because you missed an obvious feature. So I try to make it just a little more obvious.
And I think Abel here has gone with a interesting strategy of subtractive over.
I like it.
Jaush's attempt at kind of spending his time doing his sketches.
Yeah,
and that paid off last time. Creating that sketch of that top kind of loop.
Yeah, interesting choice by Jaush as far as the position of the origin on this part. Guys, what we do whenever we're creating 3D models, we think to ourselves, what is going to be the starting plane? What is going to be the starting profile? Where is the origin going to be located? These are all things that we have to, kind of decide on the fly when we're creating CAD geometry. And we can see here that Jaush has decided to create this thing looking at it from the front view. But is not really taking advantage of any of the natural symmetry that's in this model, where Abel on the right, you can see he's centering everything on the origin. So we're going to see if that pays off for Abel. We're going to see how that works for Jaush. It looks like his sketch is getting a little confusing there on the left, but I don't know, mate. He already won one match, so who am I to say?
Yeah, I mean, he requires more dimensions to actually complete both left and right sides.
Correct. Yeah. So we'll see if that pays off for him.
A way that I possibly could have approached this is just modeling just the one side.
Right. Yeah. That would have been my instinct as well. But he's in the tournament. I'm not. So maybe I should just let him do his thing. Right.
I mean, I think I saw a comment earlier of someone saying like that practice round reminds you that you forget how to read a drawing. And you forget how to create certain features, with the pressure of this tournament.
Yes.
I mean, I was seeing this episode going up to about 61 viewers at a point.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in here watching. I'm enjoying having all these people in here. Thank you all. I know that we're, times are busy right now as school is starting, and it's hard for people to get that Saturday morning open, but I really appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget to hit the like button. We always like it when the number of likes matches the number of viewers. And even if you're watching from a television set, you can probably use your remote control and access that like functionality. Speaking of liking, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here on Abel's screen. I like his approach here. He's already got that model kind of created, the main shape, like you said, doing some kind of subtractive manufacturing, and now getting into creating that whole. Very, very nice.
I mean, one thing I did notice that could have been could have sped up Abel's model was he would actually draw a center line and then draw a line over that instead of converting that center line into an actual body, into a solid line.
Yes, that may be a good a leak almost in his game that he could plug just by following your advice. You should do maybe some consulting mentoring for these guys.
It's a bit like this is how I learned how to 3D design, was watching other people model, and your whole tournament allows for that. Allows people to see, up to 32 different people modeling and seeing, where they're starting, where they what their thinking is. And, you know, you can look at, I'm sure there's people that are competing now that used to watch you and kind of learned a lot from watching other people.
Yeah, and not only the tournament, but I want to say, you know, I want to second that sentiment and also remind you that the leaderboard challenges also have that. That's another huge benefit of those leaderboard challenges, is the ability to watch and rewatch somebody speed running and kind of see like, oh, I didn't know. Like, one of the big things I learned from watching the leaderboard challenges and from watching the tournament was just how capable different pieces of software are at using edges of the model to terminate the sketch profile. Like, you don't have to close off the sketch profile at the bottom. You can just use the edge of the model and select a contour. Both in, I know for sure, in SolidWorks and in Onshape, that's how the functionality works. You can just kind of infer the boundary of your extrude from the existing edges of the model. And that was a capability that I didn't realize quite how powerful it was until I started watching the tournament runners and watching the leaderboard runners. And so, you know, it's very much to your point of, when you really watch somebody trying to speed through and model as efficiently as possible, you can learn some techniques that maybe you didn't even know existed.
And this has gotten extremely close.
Yes. So we see here that Jaush has come in with an answer. Abel has come in right behind him. The correct answer is 508 grams, which means Jaush has won the second point and will be moving on in this tournament. But wow, they were neck and neck. They really were together there. I love this comment here from Big Forms AZ. Wow, Jaush really brings stuff together. Yeah, I mean, again, I was looking at his screen. I looked over at Abel's screen for a minute. We talked for a minute. I looked back, and he's entering his answer. So all that layout work on that initial sketch really paid off. Jaush gets the victory cat. Jaush gets the applause. Jaush gets the point. Jaush gets the air horn from Kirby.
On a different page.
There we go. Jaush gets it all. Well done, Jaush, and huge congrats to both of our runners. Of course, congrats to Abel as well. Very nicely done to both of our runners. Very impressive, and wow.
And you can see Abel's kind of trying to troubleshoot where he went wrong, and that was that circle on the top, and the front of that clip has got a bit of a cutout. And,
exactly. You got it, man. That's what it was. That front of that step, it's like stepped in the front there a little bit. But wow, GG to both of our runners. That was awesome. That was so awesome. Very nicely done to Jaush. Very nicely done to Abel. Awesome matchup. Guys, if you enjoyed that, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to support the channel whatever way you can. That was a really good matchup there in the green bracket. And congratulations to Jaush moving on to the round of 16.
Absolutely epic.
He's going to be going up against Pranav here in a couple of weeks, and I'm excited to see that matchup. The round of 16, you know, be ready. The models are going to get a little more complicated, so be ready. But very nicely done to both of our runners today. Thank you, Abel, for being a part of this. And hey, be on the lookout. You're going to get that form to get your own seat of a Libre. Huge shout out to a Libre sponsoring this tournament. All of our runners are getting a seat of a Libre as being a part of this qualifying process. Alrighty. So,
and
go ahead.
Just like I predicted, Jaush is now the underdog of that bracket.
Yes, he's the only. That's true. He's the only Inventor user. Yeah, and avoided it becoming a clean sweep there. Very nicely done, Jaush. Very nicely done. Jaush says I was struggling to start. Yeah, we didn't notice it, man. Looks like it was all good. I guess.
He struggled with his sketch.
Yeah, that first sketch. Yeah.
But like I said, you can spend a lot of time perfecting your sketch, or you can just start making bodies and cutting away. And once they ended up coming to the wire, even though they had two different approaches.
Yeah, very intense. All right, cool. Well, with that, we're going to move on to our second match. Now, I think we may be running into a little bit of technical difficulty here on the second match. We got Mr.Alex, HDO, with only CSWA, going up against Jehan, Refaa, CSWA, undergraduate mechatronics. Kirby, have you ever heard of HDO? I'm not sure what that actually stands for.
It was Head of Design Operations, I think someone commented earlier.
I'm just going to keep asking you like Groundhog's Day. Guys, don't forget to support the channel. If you like what you're seeing here, if you like these kinds of CAD versus CAD matchups, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to share and reshare, and of course, sign up for a free account. You can sign up for a free account at tootalltoby.com. sign up for that free account, and that will make sure that you are able to get your Ivan NFT, right? Ivan Exploit NFT. You can buy that right away as soon as you log in. You can get yourself an account and make sure that you're taking advantage of all the great functionality we're going to be rolling out on the Too Tall Toby website. A little bit of functionality now, but just going to keep getting richer and richer over there. Don't forget also, we do have a super chat running today. If you guys have a credit card and you want to send me a little tip, a little way of saying, hey, you know, I appreciate what we're doing today. I appreciate the, you know, I appreciate everything that you're doing with the show. Yeah, you can send me a super chat, and we can definitely appreciate that. Sorry guys, I'm reading some chat that's coming in from Alex here. He's struggling a little bit getting the setup to work on his computer. I wonder, you know, he is able to share his webcam. I think that's what we're going to do. Alex, just if you could take your webcam and point it at your screen, I think that's going to be our workaround.
That's smart.
I think that's going to be the only option we really have here. So at least we'll be able to see something. So if you could please do that, Alex, and let me know if that's a problem. And guys, we do have also super thanks. So super chat, you can use a credit card right down at the bottom of the YouTube page. There's a little $ thing. You can send me some super chat. Also super thanks if you enjoy this type of tournament action. It's a great way to support the channel, and we'll have more ways to support the channel in the future. Gonzalo says, how late am I? You're right on time, bro. Right on time. All right, so now we're going to find out who's going to go up against Jack Sato. Jack Sato from Hawaii, using Onshape from the United States. And who's going to go up against? Is it going to be Mr. Alex, or is it going to be Jehan Refaa? So we're going to find that out here.
I definitely know it's going to be someone using SolidWorks.
It is going to be a SolidWorks user. I agree with you there. It is going to be a SolidWorks user. And let me see here. I'm going to see if I can... going to make a quick little change here. So I'm going to switch back to my webcam here, do a little behind the scenes magic here if I can. Let's see.
A bit of on-the-fly production work.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to be flexible for these things, you know. Sometimes, you know, you don't know what kind of troubles you could come across.
Exactly.
Got to be prepared for anything, but I feel like, you know, Alex is determined to make this work, get it going.
We're trying to make it work. So we're going to see if we can get Alex to share his webcam and point at the screen. This is a great time for you guys to sign up for an account at tootalltoby.com or check out tootalltoby.com/calendar, and you can get all of the upcoming events. And we're going to see, oh, we got it. We got it working here. Sweet. Okay, so I am going to, let me see if I can. All right, this is probably going to get a little dicey. I think we can make this work though.
Yeah, I'm quite excited because, you know, Jehan's also going to be representing the women in engineering for today's matchup, which I think is quite exciting.
I don't see people like that, Kirby. I just see engineers as engineers. Sorry, bro.
No, it's all good. I really like supporting the women in engineering. I feel like, you know, anytime we can highlight, you know, some of the things that they do in this industry.
Okay, let's get, I wonder if I can, okay, that's fine. I'm going to get this going. Keep talking, Kirby. Keep talking. You got this. It's all in you.
My wife surprised me with man flowers yesterday. It's a trend that I've seen on like TikTok and that. It's like, what is the equivalent of buying someone flowers? You know, buying flowers for, you know, your other half, your husband or something like that, or your boyfriend. And for me is Lego.
Okay.
So I came home and my wife had went out to the shops and she bought me a Lego set.
Lego. Got it. I like it.
And it was quite nice to be spoiled like that.
Yeah, that is nice.
Especially after a long week at work and that, and yeah, it was really good. So I'm excited to build the new Concorde set.
Okay. I wish I had you on screen here. I could ask you to hold it up, but you got it ready to go there. What's
right behind me.
What's the Concorde? That's the airplane?
Yes.
All right. I don't have you on screen yet. I'm gonna have you up here in just a second, and then we'll let you.
Okay, I've got it here now.
Let you share that. Okay. Okay. I think I got you now. All right. Let me flip over here to to allow you to share with everybody what you're seeing and give
Share
the
the
audience
share
something
with
a
the
little bit
class.
more to look at than just me. Here we go. Okay. I like
So
it.
it's quite a nice big set
I like
that
it.
I'm looking forward to building, and just the Concorde is just one of those steps in aviation that we kind of tried to do and we didn't, and that's the jet age, because or the supersonic age, because since the first jetliners were invented, we've kind of been stuck there in terms of commercial aviation. It's just been jetliners, and the Concorde was the first plane to step into commercial supersonic flight, and seeing a lot of engineers trying to jump back into supersonic flight for commercial use, and it's a tricky problem to solve.
Well, I'll tell you about tricky problems to solve, getting this layout to work, but I think we got it. Bro. So thank you.
I believe in you, Toby.
Yeah, thank you for that story. I think that we are good here, guys. I think we're going to run a quick practice model just to make sure that everything's working good. Let's learn a little bit about Mr. Alex. HDO with CSWA. I'm not sure what HDO stands for. Are you familiar with that, Kirby?
I think it's a head of design operations.
Let's find out here a little bit about Mr. Alex. Let's see here. Started using SolidWorks in 1997, but I've been working by HDO. Head of Design Office. Okay, that's what it is. Head of Design. Okay, good. So we learned what it means now. That's great. So, Head of Design Office since 2012. I don't use SolidWorks each day anymore. Okay, fair enough. And I'm HDO.
OG user.
I'm HDO with CSWA certificate, so I need to talk to Toby about helping me get CSWP and CSWE. Yeah, anytime, bro. I do have a CSWP prep class that I've developed that I think is excellent. And anytime you want to talk, we can make it happen for sure. Eric B says, I got to watch a Concorde land at the Seattle Museum of Flight when British Airways donated it to them in early 2000s when they retired the fleet.
That's incredible. I actually got to walk on that actual Concorde, which is at the Museum of Flight on display.
That's awesome. Wow. All right, cool. And then Jehan from Egypt, an undergraduate mechatronics engineer in Asuit University. Very nice, very nice. And hope one day to work at Boston Dynamics. Wow, that's awesome.
Boston Dynamics is incredible. I love their little dancing robots. They're just so vibey.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, make sure when you go there, if you apply there, just make sure you tell them you were in the Too Tall Toby World Championship of 3D CAD speed modeling, and I'm sure that they will put you right
Hopefully
to
she can say she won it.
front of the line. Yeah, exactly. Once you win it, exactly. You're going to have it locked up. All right, cool. Well, I think that we are pretty good here. Again, this is a little bit of an unusual setup here that we have for Mr. Alex. So I think we're going to give these guys a practice round just to make sure that, that they're able to create everything, that they understand how the rules work and everything. So let's get into a quick practice model here for our runners. I think this is going to go nice and smooth, all things considered. Appreciate everybody kind of bearing with me as we got this resolved. And Steve Jensen says, might be able to use Supersonic to get to Pennsylvania in November. Yes, I like it. Good. I like the way you think, Steve. Here we go. Let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD battle. Just a quick practice round here to get Mr. Alex and Jehan all warmed up. This practice battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, nice. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? So both of our runners are grabbing the screen capture, pausing the video, making sure that they can see this thing, and let's flip over and see their screens. And so we can see on the left, we've got Mr. Alex, and on the right, we've got Jehan Refaa, and oh no. Are you gonna tell me I did all this for nothing? I think I screwed this up with the layouts, and I spent all that time doing it, and it was all for nothing. Oh man. Okay. On the left, we got Jehan Refaa. No. On the left, we got Mr. Alex. And on the right, we got Jehan Refaa. All right, here we go. Wow. Don't worry, guys. We're going to get this all working just fine. It's all good.
Right.
It's all...
Do you have to model it if you can calculate it? I mean, the parts that are actually being shown are a bit more complicated, so you wouldn't be able to calculate it like this one. But that would be an interesting little skirmish that you can create there, Toby, is what's faster, a CAD engineer or a calculator?
I like that. I like that. It reminds me of like the verification problems that we see sometimes in the world of 3D CAD. All right, we got Mr. Alex on the left. We got Jehan on the right. Did the answers come in? We got the answers. 189, 189. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. And Kirby, we lost your face here. I'm gonna resolve that, I promise. But
it's not a problem.
Okay.
As long as they can hear my beautiful voice.
Yep, they can definitely hear you. We're gonna get that resolved here in just a moment. We got you in the correct spot here. So we're back on our layout. Let's talk to the Wheel of Fate. The Wheel of Fate can be quite a cruel mistress. If anybody out there wants to guess what number we're gonna see during the Wheel of Fate here, please, by all means, let me know.
I'm sticking with 37.
Okay, sticking with 37. Striker's going with 33. Ex Machina Engineering 32. Tafon 34. What do we think it's gonna be? What do we think it's gonna be? All right, we got lots of answers coming in here. Let's rip this thing. Let's see who got it correct. Eric Beatty coming in with 43. JD52WTF coming with 68. I like it. I like all these answers. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, spin it. All righty. Oh, this is going to be your time, Kirby. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Okay.
I'm still sticking with it.
We got 33. Okay, this is a good one. All righty. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's remove that from the list. Let's get this guy in place. We've already learned about our runners. So we did our quick technical test run. Do we have any final advice for these runners? This is their first time battling here, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks. What do you think?
You know, don't be afraid to kind of just go straight into it. You know, if you might have made a mistake, you know, you started in kind of the wrong way, just keep going. There is potential to recover from that kind of thing.
That's excellent advice.
You know, just commit.
Yeah.
If you start second guessing yourself, that's when you could slow yourself down and potentially make some mistakes. And you know, make sure you got your screenshot ready. You know, have a backup if you need.
Yeah. That's good. All good advice. Yeah. Stay calm. There's lots of people in the chat giving some advice too. Yep. All right, here we go, guys. These guys I think everybody's ready. We're saying use the S key. Striker saying use the S key. That's my advice. So, oh wait, who got the answer right, by the way? Did anybody get it right? It was 33, right? Striker got it.
Striker, I think.
Man, he nailed it right away. Nice job. All right. All right, good. I'm glad we got that resolved. That was very important. let's flip over to full screen here. Guys, this CAD battle between Latvia and Egypt begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? XXXX grams. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? Wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah, this one, there's a misprint on the print there. The tolerance for this one's actually plus or minus 2 grams, not 1. So I just want to announce that right now so you guys know. The tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams, not 1. I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact. It's pretty prismatic geometry, but just be aware that tolerance is actually plus or minus 2 grams, not 1. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? So both of our runners have grabbed a screen capture, have started modeling this thing. Let's flip over to this CAD versus CAD battle. And here we go. How do we create a model like this? We got Mr. Alex on the left. He's HDO with only CSWA. We got Jehan Refaa on the right. CSWA, undergraduate mechatronic. Got Kirby and myself doing co-commentary.
I mean, Ex Mechanica says tricky. Yes and no, I feel like. I'm obviously trying to break it down in my head how I would approach this.
Yeah, this part, it does have some, you know, this is one of the first parts we've seen that has real, like, drafted pockets. That's I think, probably the trickiest thing about this. We haven't really had too many parts that have drafted pockets, and so it's going to be up to our runners to decide how they're going to create that. I think that's the part of it that's kind of tricky. So I'm very interested to see how they come up with this. Jehan Refaa kind of getting through there, creating that basic shape first. I really like that approach. That's looking great on the right. And we see Mr. Alex on the left. First of all, I just want to say Mr. Alex at webcam is coming through excellent. Looks great. Totally a valid workaround here. And I'm glad we were able to get that to work around. And second, I like this approach. It's interesting how often we see these situations where both of the runners are kind of working on the same feature at the same time.
Which is quite interesting compared to Jaush and Abel, where both of their individual approaches were completely different. It's nice to see it, people actually approaching it the same way.
Yes, agree.
Seems like Mr. Alex there is run into a few little troubles, but I think he's going to figure it out. Bit of troubleshooting, like I said earlier, just soldier on and work with the problems that you might have.
Yeah, it's really all you can do. Once you get going, you got to just kind of keep on going.
Yeah.
Agree.
So, Toby, how long does it take you to make all of these models?
Well, Kirby, I mean, I don't want to brag. So that's it. That's my answer. But we do have you back here on the overlays. We got Kirby back on video. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you're happy to see Kirby's face again here in the co-commentary booth.
I mean, I'm quite happy I'm back, but everybody can see my pink shirt.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. So, okay, so I got a little bit tunnel vision there. I see, it looks like Mr. Alex has gone through here and has created this initial shape here. Interesting use of convert entities. I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. We see on the right, Jehan Refaa is just plugging through. I saw a nice use of a mirror command there, and it looked like she has at least one of those pockets done on both sides. So this is definitely very close. Both of our runners have these kind of drafted tombstone shaped pockets in place. You see Mr. Alex there on the left has his drafted tombstone shapes in place as well. Looks like he's ripping a mirror across there as well. Looking like he's kind of doing what we call the final spin, looking over the model, making sure that he's got everything he needs. And he's going to get in here and maybe give us an answer whenever you see somebody bring up that mass properties. So Mr. Alex, AMOX has come in with an answer. That answer is, sorry guys, I'm looking for this print. The answer that he has come in with is 9469 grams. That is incorrect. That is not correct.
Oh.
That is not correct. So just a quick reminder to the chat, please do not help. Do not enter, anything in the chat that would help them. It's up to Mr. Alex to figure out the solution, to figure out what he's missing. And it's up to Jehan to maybe capitalize on this opportunity and come in with the correct answer. And AMO Alex has revised his answer, 9335, burning off his second answer. And that is correct. So Mr. Alex coming through, getting that one correct. Wow, wow, wow. Well done. And you can see Jehan Refaa there, right on his heels. Man, that answer is just about to come in here. It looks like maybe she's got one final feature to create. Let's see if she makes that feature, if she does come up with the correct answer. 9335 is the correct answer. And Jehan is right there, and boom, there it is, 9335. It was a matter of about 15 seconds. So close from both of our runners. Nicely done, Jehan. Very, very nice, very nice. That is very nicely done to both of our runners. Man, this is a good matchup, huh, Kirby?
Yeah, I mean, what I saw for Jehan kind of looked like she was struggling to kind of start figuring out where to begin, which could have been the downfall of that. What I found interesting also is that both of them approached those tombstone features the first time round as a drafted cut instead of just a cut and a chamfer.
Yeah,
and then the second time round they did it as a different way.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Jehan approached her second tombstone shape as a extrude cut and a chamfer instead.
Wow.
So learning from their mistakes as they go.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Okay. Very cool. Wow. All right. Well, guys, what do you think the Wheel of Fate has in store? 4 choices here on the wheel.
37.
37. Mixing it up, huh? Okay.
No, it's still 37.
Striker going with 36. He's been pretty spot on this tournament. So yeah, Steve is going to jump right in line. 36, 36, 32, 34. Eric Bay sticking with 43. I like it. I like that consistency as well. Let's see here. Hold at 32 again. 32. All right. Let's see what happens here, buddy. Let's spin this wheel. The wheel and the red bracket are sponsored by Alibre. Huge shout out to Alibre.
Wheel.
Yep, the Alibre wheel. Let's let it rip and see what happens. Here we go. Here we go. What does the wheel have in store? $34.
Damn.
34. Okay. All right. Cool. So very nicely done. You guys didn't even need that tolerance. I said there was an additional gram of tolerance, but you guys didn't even need that. You both got it spot on.
Smashed it.
Yeah, smashed it. So nicely done. 34. Who guessed 34? Big Fabs. Big Form AZ got it. 34. Johan got it. Again, Johan's been on point today. Johan's got to go to casino tonight. GGD got it. 34. Very nicely done. Soupba got it. Spooba got it. Here we go. Here we go. Let's learn a little bit more about our runners. So Mr. Alex says, I played StarCraft/StarCraft 2 for many years, and I take hotkey locations from my cybersport experience. Very
interesting.
Nice. Very nice. I like that. And Jehan says, I am in Flight X team in which we participate in UAVs competition. What do you think about those fun facts?
Oh, that's really cool. Like I'm obviously I've got that Concorde Lego set. I've got a very fun flight simulator setup and all that. And I enjoy that a lot. And even with, creating hotkeys from video gaming, I use a Stream Deck mostly for creating hotkeys for my video games and all that stuff, and Flight Simulator, GTA, and all that stuff. But I also use it for SolidWorks. So, both interesting facts that I can somewhat relate to, which is cool.
Yeah, same thing. I go through the Stream Deck and load in a bunch of on-shape shortcuts and use that when I'm doing on-shape. So totally on board with the Stream Deck for the extra hotkeys. That definitely is.
Like, even though it's originally created for streamers, it can be used for anyone. You can set it up to sit down on your desk, turn your computer on, press a button, and all your programs load up where they need to be set up and all good.
Yeah, it's just a nice macro box.
Yes.
All right. Well, oh crud! Hold on a second, guys. I gotta. Whatever. I'll just fix it when I get there. All right. All right, guys. Wow, this is exciting. This is it. Jehan is still in it. Alex needs to win 2 points to lock this up, and this could be the final match here of the round of 32. But I'm not counting Jehan out. It was very close, within about 15 seconds of one another. So let's see how well they do on this next CAD challenge. This next CAD battle between Latvia and Egypt, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams. This part is made of ABS. It's using MMGS as the unit system, and the material is 1020 kilograms per cubic meter as shown in the title block. Both of our runners are up and running, so let's flip over and see how they approach this challenge. It's kind of like a nozzle insert type thing.
It's a lot more complicated, this one.
Sorry, guys, I had the applause queued up there, I think, by accident.
I won't hear anything.
Yep. So here we go. Let's see how they do on this one. Jehan already has that base modeled up on the right. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, she started off strong this round. No hesitations, which is great.
Yep. We see Mr. Alex kind of going through and creating the nozzle shape. Looks like he's using, he's kind of drawing the cross section, and then he's probably going to spin that around a central axis. Yep, we see him doing that here. That's what's called a revolve. Struggling to get that axis selected, though, for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes it can, I even find that sometimes you misclick and all that. Surprisingly, like SolidWorks is the one place that I don't use many shortcuts. I always get told off for not using the S key.
Oh, we do love the S key in the world of SolidWorks, that's for sure. Put an S in the chat, guys, if you guys like the S key. Everybody needs to. Yeah, Blindside saying, noticing too. Yeah, there was a weird centerline issue there on Mr. Alex's screen.
Yeah, and
Terra
Jehan had a good use of a mirror about feature there to get both of those on the either side. Saving quite a bit of time.
I like that. Saved a lot of time, yep. And Tarak Shodi from Egypt in the chat cheering Jehan Refaa along. A little bit of support there from the fellow Egyptian competitor.
It's good that you're seeing people from other, Egypt, for example, performing here, and other people from Egypt coming out to support their country as well.
Always cool. And wow, this is really interesting. Mr. Alex on the left, kind of, I don't know, struggling or just revising a little bit on that revolve shape. And we saw that Jehan was able just to kind of blast through and get that geometry in place. So this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, it's an interesting, two interesting approaches.
Yes.
Which is always exciting. I feel like this is going to be one of those that comes down to the wire again.
Yeah, and the inside of obviously the inside of that cone shape is also very important. If you are watching and you roll back in the recording, you can see kind of what that shape looked like. I'm just seeing if maybe I can bring this up here. Yeah, you can kind of see what's going on there with that cone on the inside on this drawing. And that's something else that our runners have to account for, is how to get that to be kind of a continuous, to get that shape to match. I don't want to give away too much, but to get that shape to match what we see on the drawing.
No, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting challenge that looks like they're both kind of setting themselves up to run into here at some point. So here we can see Mr. Alex's screen, him using the edge of the model to help facilitate the contour selection. That was something you and I were talking about a little earlier in the live stream, and definitely something cool that I've learned from watching all these competitors is just how capable some of these CAD systems are.
Yeah, they're just more and more powerful. And it's just it's incredible, like what you can build, what you can achieve. And my first time using CAD systems is starting to realize that anything in my brain that I think of, I can make it. I can build it in this virtual environment.
Yes.
Line that up with 3D printing, and suddenly I've got this tool,
a physical
that can take those ideas into CAD, and then from CAD into real world.
Yes.
And that really blew me away.
Yeah, it's so, whatever it is that you need in your life, if you can just kind of imagine what it looks like, you can turn it into a physical item. It's so powerful. Like I'm looking around my office now, like webcam covers and little things that prop up my laptops to give them a little more circulation underneath, and just kind of every little thing that I'm like, you know what I could use here, and I just make it.
Looks like Jehan came in with an answer.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Jehan coming in with an answer here of 281.81. That is not correct. That is incorrect. 281 or 282, really, if you round it, that is not correct. So Jehan has answered once. It is not correct. Jehan is going to need to figure out how to resolve that issue. Very nice. Thanks for keeping me on that, Kirby. So the answer...
I'm just here to help you out.
No, it's great. So the answer is 28. We're going to call it 282 because we're rounding it up. Tolerance is plus or minus 2 grams, and that is not correct. So now Jehan's going to look at the model. She's going to try to figure out if there was maybe a feature that was missing or a feature that was dimensioned incorrectly. Again, please do not help in the chat. If you see anything that's out of line, it's up to Jehan to find that, or up to Mr. Alex to maybe capitalize on this.
See, Alex has come in.
Mr. Alex is coming with an answer of, we're on 34 here. Coming with an answer of 255. We're rounding that up, 255. That is also incorrect.
Ooh.
Incorrect. So both of our runners have come in with an incorrect answer now. And
Jehan
has revised to 247, and that is correct. So we're taking this thing to 3 matches today. That's what I like to see at the end of our round of 32. Jehan, well done, well done. Wow, both of our runners, well done. What an awesome matchup. That was so close. from both of our runners, and GG to our winner. Really GG to both of our runners. No pressure or anything, but we are going into sudden death here. Wow, wow, wow.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, you explaining, about that, the cavity of that cone could be a potential problem, which in the end it did.
Yes.
That was the part that they kind of overlooked.
They both kind of struggled with, yeah. Alex says, I need a chair. Okay, he's doing this one, it's squatting, I guess. So, wow, that was awesome. What a matchup there. And GG to both of our runners. And we are going into sudden death here. You have to earn your way into the round of 16 in this tournament for sure. So
really making the final matchup of the round of 32 as exciting as possible.
Yes, this is what it's all about.
I'm actually sweating. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's been such a close match. This has been so awesome to have this. I'm so thankful to our competitors, so thankful to everybody out there in the chat. We got 55 people watching. Remember, if you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit that like button. It's a great way to help make sure that this live stream gets the attention that it deserves in the world of YouTube.
Putting on likes already.
Yeah, let's go.
Smashing it, Toby. Smashing it. Yeah. I love it.
And let's take a look at the wheel. We got to make sure that wheel keeps us in line. We got a couple of options here on the wheel. I don't know, Kirby, you have any thoughts, anything you want to predict for this spin of the wheel?
I'm feeling 37.
Okay, 37, huh? I like that. Switching up your strategy a little. I like that.
I'm trying my best.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the wheel has in store for us. 37, let's go. Thank you to Alibre for sponsoring the wheel.
The Libre wheel.
The Libre wheel, let's let it rip. Here we go. Let's find out what the wheel has in store for our runners.
It's a 33% chance.
And just as Kirby predicted, it is 36.
Yeah. Oh.
Congratulations. Okay.
Oh, next time.
Yeah. So, okay, this is good. 36. Great. And this will potentially be the last match. Not necessarily. It could be a push. If it is, we got a couple of more drawings. But this is going to potentially be the last matchup of these titans in this round of 32. What an awesome round of 32 it's been, too, I gotta say. Any favorite moments from the round of 32, Kirby?
This moment right here, I feel like
is
is very, very exciting. With Jaush and Abel watching Inventor go up against SolidWorks and Josh taking it away as the underdog of that bracket now.
Sole Inventor user.
Yeah, 3 SolidWorks users versus 1 Inventor user.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for him for that. But watching 2 different design tactics going, seeing how they're using their CAD softwares really kind of get you thinking, like, maybe you're making a model and you can see, okay, that's going to speed up your modeling techniques. Whereas with Alex and Jehan, they've both kind of approached very similar aspects. They both tackled both two of those models as the same kind of approach, and it was a nail biter. Came down to the wire there.
It really did.
As Big B says, came out swinging.
Yes indeed. All right, well, let's take a look here then. Let's find out what happens here in this final match. Here we go. Switching over to full screen.
Let's do this.
Probably the final match in the round of 32. Who's going to move on to the round of 16? Sudden death. Everybody take a moment.
Yeah, good luck to everybody.
Wipe off your hands. Take a deep breath. Because this CAD battle between Latvia and Egypt, SolidWorks versus SolidWorks, begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 1 gram. We're calling this part a J box, like a junction box. And here we go. Both of our runners are in their CAD systems creating this model. Let's see what they come up with for this challenge. Flipping over to the CAD versus CAD showdown screen here, we see that it looks like Mr. Alex has started out by kind of creating that overall box shape think that's probably a pretty standard approach to this thing. Nice use of auto dimensions by Jehan on the right, creating kind of the footprint for that. I know that this drawing, the dimensions are in a little bit of a funky locations, so some of these dimensions are a little bit easier to figure out where they are. Some of them are a little tougher. And we see here, looks like Mr. Alex is creating that kind of boss shape up on the top.
Yeah.
Yep, getting that slotted boss shape going up top. Very nice.
What I find interesting is that each model that we've seen, and this is the 5th model that we're looking at, each one has required a different approach, a different start style, especially the way that I look at them and the way that I'm going to model them. Each one has had something different required to actually 3D model it.
Yeah, and that's that's a big part of what we're trying to do with this tournament, is trying to make sure that it's not just the same. We got to mix it up, because we don't want these competitors to know what they're getting. We got to keep them on their toes.
Well, I mean, they're all different, but the model choice is purely RNG.
It's all about the wheel of fate, right?
Yeah, that's what's determined, and even that has given us some good variety, which is always quite exciting to see.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, and a testament to the tournament. I'm very, I gotta say, I couldn't have this tournament without these amazing runners, and I'm so happy with how it's all been turning out. And wow, Mr. Alex on the left just blasting through that model, already coming up with an answer. I confess I was looking the other direction. Mr. Alex coming up with an answer, 674 grams. That is not correct.
Interesting.
Not correct. So Mr. Alex is going to need to look at his model. He's going to need to try to figure out what, if anything, he is missing, or what is incorrect. And in the meantime, that might open the door here for Jehan to maybe come up with a win potentially.
I mean, Mr. Ivan's already kind of highlighted there's a lot of opportunities for some exploits.
I don't want to interrupt, but Mr. Alex revising his answer to 664 grams. That is incorrect.
Ooh.
Wow. So I think maybe for the first time in this tournament, maybe the second time in this tournament, we now have had 2 incorrect answers from Mr. Alex. And so unfortunately, that means no more incorrect answers available. And Jehan now has the opportunity to come up with the correct answer. And I see that Striker is saying, take your time now, Jehan. Well, you can take your time a bit, but this means that we are bringing out the clock. The clock comes out in this scenario. So we talk about exciting. Here we go. Let's bring up the clock. The 5-minute clock is now up and running. Let me get that into a spot where you guys can actually see it. And this is now up to Jehan to come up with this correct answer. She's got about 5 minutes here to come up with this correct answer. 4 minutes and 44 seconds now.
This is exciting.
So we're going to see if she can come up with the correct answer. If not, this match is going to be a push, and we're going to go on to another match. I knew this might be possible, but 5 minutes is the time. She's allowed to answer incorrectly one time. So this is really up to Jehan to win or lose this sudden death, the final match here of the round of 32. What more could you ask for? Talk about exciting.
I know. And I think Mr. Alex there has been trying to figure out where he went wrong. But I've never been so excited and so pumped up for CAD modeling.
What a matchup, man. All kinds of excitement happening during this matchup. And so it looks like what we got here is Jehan is really taking her time. Now we're seeing the true, rocket scientist, rocket engineer that she is, aerospace engineer that she is, really going through, knows how to kind of check, make sure that everything looks right. She doesn't want to burn off an incorrect answer unnecessarily. And we're gonna let her do it. We're gonna let her take her time and figure this out and make sure that she feels like everything is good. And Ivan in the chat saying, been on both sides of this scenario. Actually, Ivan is, I believe, and I gotta double check on my records for Cam, but I believe Ivan is the only person who has been in every single Too Tall Toby tournament. So Ivan is a legit original.
He's won before, hasn't he?
He's won. He won the very first one. He's been runner-up, I think, twice. He was runner-up last year with 32 people, and I think he was runner-up to Cam back when there was 8 people in the tournament. So but Ivan has been in every single tournament. Huge friend of the show. And of course, this is the Ivan from the Ivan Exploit. The Ivan himself here in the chat hanging out with us. I've never been in the chat with somebody who had an NFT modeled after them.
That's true. Well, it looks like Jehan is getting her answer.
Okay, Jehan's feeling good. Looks like she's considering committing for her entire tournament life. 702 grams, and that is correct. And so Jehan is gonna lock it down. What an exciting matchup. I want to give a huge thank you to Mr.Alex along the way, but guys, let's put a GG in the chat for Jehan.
Well done.
Moving on to the round of 16. Mr.Alex working with me on that technical challenge. I really appreciate that. I know it wasn't the easiest environment to CAD model in, but wow. What a showdown and what a victory. My goodness. Way to go, Jehan. GG to Mr. Alex and Jehan. Wow. Great job to both of our runners. What a matchup, man. What a matchup. What a victory there. And Mr. Alex, that was a tough one, really tough one on the end there. I know how that feels, and you got all that pressure, and it's we're gonna have more tournaments, so you're gonna have another chance here. But I do really appreciate Mr. Alex coming through in the clutch there with the webcam, getting everything working there. That really worked out great. Shane Howell says, what did you miss? I think he missed the dimensions on that kind of slotted shape that was up top. This is kind of interesting.
I think he used the radius instead of diameter, so it was...
Yeah, I'm going to flip back to the view of our runners here just real quick, because I think this is kind of interesting. This is something that we've seen happen a couple of times. So Mr. Alex, I think, was missing the, like you said, that slot that's up top that he's got highlighted in blue now. I think he put that in as radius instead of diameter, or vice versa.
Yeah, so I think he measured it as 20 instead of the half. I think he was aiming to do 20 mils as the half, but made 20 mils as the whole of it.
But I think the other thing that was interesting that happened here is that I think he was also missing the hole coming through those cylinders through the inner wall. And I think that this is something that we've seen happen a couple of times in the tournament, where you end up finding one mistake and not realizing there's actually another one. So when he submitted the incorrect answer, he found that mistake with that hole he's highlighting there that was missing, and he corrected that. But then there was another mistake, and so ended up burning off the second correct answer. And man, that's a tough spot, but I appreciate you being a good sport about it, Mr. Alex. Welcome, congratulations, and GG to everyone. And just leave your Zoom sessions alone, please, so that we can exit this live stream with grace. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who competed today. Huge thank you to Alibre, the sponsor of the red bracket, and putting up those great prizes for everyone. We'll be in touch with you, Mr. Alex, to get you your own seat, perpetual license of Alibre. So that is very exciting. So cool today to see 4 different countries competing. And let me just get you back in place here, Kirby. So
I see Dusty Lane is asking, is there a Discord server for people?
So Discord server is just about ready to go public. Thank you for asking that. That'll be posted on the Too Tall Toby webpage, www.tootalltoby.com. So great question. The Discord server's almost up and running. We definitely are. We're just finalizing all the rooms and all the rules and everything. But yes, there will be a Discord server for Too Tall Toby. It's up now, but it's not public yet. Great question.
Yeah, because that'll be a great place for people to discuss and try out different models and learn from each other.
Yes, indeed. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to share and reshare. Sign up at tootalltoby.com. Remember that Super Chat is available. If you're watching the recording, Super Thanks is available. Hit up the calendar. Next week, we begin the Sweet 16. Amazing that it begins on September 16th. The round of 16 begins. The Sweet 16 begins. Hit tootalltoby.com/calendar. You can add all those appointments to your calendar along the way. The YouTube playlist is also up and running. Another place you can subscribe to or share, or just kind of have a consistent link. And next week, we get to see our first matchup here between Fabien Pierre running Inventor and the Golden Spamfish running Onshape in dark mode. He's our only Onshape runner in dark mode, I think. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of dark mode.
Yep, dark mode gets him it actually lets him start the challenges 30 seconds faster. Just kidding. That'd be awesome, right? 30-second head start. We're also going to see next week Juice, the #1 seed in the entire tournament, going up against Mohammed. And Mohammed's been in, I think, 3 of the Too Tall Toby tournaments so far. So 3 out of 4 of the ones we've had so far. Another old friend of the show, longtime supporter of this tournament environment. So, and a CATIA user, the only CATIA user in the tournament. So if you want to see some CATIA, go for it. Go for it. Come join us next week, September 16th, same time. And I want to say thank you so much to my very special co-commentator, Kirby Downey. Thank you, Kirby.
No, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. I love being on your show.
Well,
it's really, really exciting, and I think today's matchup was just so exhilarating.
Yes.
I don't think you could have had any. You couldn't have had any better outcome.
No, couldn't have had any better outcome, and couldn't have asked for a better co-commentator than you today. So thank you, Kirby. This is awesome. Like you said, what's one of my favorite moments of the tournament? This is one of my favorite moments of the tournament right here. Seeing these matchups, I thought that was a great answer and a great attitude. And let's get the Minecraft server going. Are you on Java or are you on Bedrock these days?
I prefer Java, but I've got both.
I prefer Java as well, so I will spin up a Realms or maybe even get my own server space, and we will make this happen.
Yes.
I know that there's some other people out there in the CAD universe that want to do a Minecraft server, so that's going to be part of the Discord as well. We'll have a Minecraft server in the Discord, so.
That'll be awesome.
All right, thank you guys for the most amazing chat ever. If you guys enjoyed your time here today, put a 1 in the chat before you leave. Make sure that you like, make sure you subscribe, and thank you so much. Enjoyed all of the commentary from everybody. We're not going to do Model Monday Live this week. So normally we do Model Monday Live kind of following up on, actually I should say September 11th, but we're going to skip this week. I got to catch up on some work and get ready for some training classes that I'm teaching coming up here. If you guys have a company and ever want some training classes, be sure to reach out to me. Also a little shameless plug there. But I will look forward to seeing everyone next week. The Sweet 16 begins Saturday, September 16th. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Kirby, any final thoughts for the chat before we break?
I think we a lot of people saw some great modeling techniques here. Go back, watch previous ones, see how people are modeling, learn from everybody, compete in the next tournament. Take what you've seen and what you've learned and apply that to competitive CAD, or even apply that to your own work environments. Find a local SolidWorks user group or a user group of the CAD system that you're using, and learn from there. There's forums out there. There's Discords for all these different CAD systems that you can join in. You can ask questions and learn from each other.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great advice. And on that note of the next tourney, I see that Striker in the chat is saying, when do we sign up for the next tourney? So the next signups are probably going to begin right around the time this tournament ends. So probably in November. The qualifier is going to happen via the leaderboard. So the best thing you can do is start participating in the leaderboard. Make sure that you qualify through the leaderboard. And we are going to have the next tournament early next year. It looks like February, March next year is when the next tournament is going to run. It's going to run in a more condensed schedule. It's going to be a little bit more of like an exhibition type thing. So yeah, we will be hosting the tournament in early 2024. Details coming soon. Where's that quote coming from? Blindside. I like that. It's awesome. I don't know if that's just from audio or if that's written somewhere, but yeah, we're going to be hosting the next one early 2024. So be ready, and it's going to be a more condensed timeline. We're also going to have some live in-person tournaments coming up. So that's something else to look out for too. But
that sounds exciting.
Yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to. Best advice I have for all of you, if you want to compete next time, start competing in the leaderboard, start getting on the leaderboard. That way you'll know the whole process and you'll be ready to qualify for the next tournament. Cool. All right, tournaments page. It is on the website. Tournaments page next to the bracket. Perfect. Thank you. That's good to know. We're covering all our bases. Kirby, thanks again so much for being a part of this. Looking forward to hosting with you next time. Everybody, I will see you all next week, September 16th. Thank you, guys. See you, everybody.
Bye.